Hello and welcome again. This is a 48 RE off of a 2006 SRT10 pickup truck D10. I'm going to go ahead and do a teardown inspection and see what are we going to be able to find here. First, I'm going to take this support bars out of the way. Put that to the side. This is the same unit that the Viper has as well, 48 RE. Okay, now I'm going to remove the extension housing. This is the extension housing, and here also as well is the housing for the overdrive section. So you would have the overdrive brake clutches and the overdrive direct with the planetary gear set and a sprag assembly. Let's go ahead and remove that. This is also the same unit that's on the diesel pickup trucks. This is our output shaft speed sensor. I'm going to go ahead and remove that now so we won't damage it. Okay, so here we got the overdrive piston housing. Here we got the overdrive piston. We'll go ahead and remove that piston now. Get this out of the way. Now I'm going to use a 3/8 socket, and I'm going to remove the 6 bolts that are holding the overdrive piston housing to the case. Okay. Now here, let's go ahead and take everything out of the extension housing. This is a round snap ring here. Get that out of the way. These are the overdrive brake frictions for clutch pack. Now in here you have 2 snap rings. The wavy snap ring comes out first. See, this is a wavy snap ring. It's not a flat snap ring, it's a wavy. Comes out first, and then the flat snap ring comes out next. Okay, we're going to remove this access cover for the snap ring that holds the output bearing, or it actually holds the overdrive section inside the extension housing. Set that out of the way. We get our snap ring pliers. There we go. Take the extension housing off, and we can set this extension housing to the side. Okay. This is our output bearing. It's a support bearing. Always kind of rotate it, kind of have a feel for it. Make sure it's not pitted. You will feel it right away. And when it's pitted, you're going to have a noise, sort of like the differential noise, similar to it. Here we got a bearing. We're going to disassemble this assembly here on the press. So I'm going to set this to the side for now, and then we're going to go to the press and press it out. Now I'm going to remove the linkages. Even though this pickup truck, it's a 2006 model, the 48 REs have the two embossments here with threads for the kick down motor assembly. This being a V10 and an SRT10, it still has a cable going to the throttle body. It is very similar to what the diesels would have, and it's the same exact unit that the Viper does have with the V10 liter engine. Okay, now I'm going to remove the digital transmission range sensor. I'm going to remove it because I don't want that to get damaged. It's made out of plastic. Here we go. Out of the way. It looks like somebody already adjusted the band. As you can see, that the band strut is flush with the locking nut. I used the 19mm bolt socket to get that out, and I'm going to use Torx T40 to get the adjustment pin off. Now I'm going to remove the pump bolts so we can get the pump out of the way. Okay. Now the difference between the 47 RE and 48 RE is that in the stator, the 48s have a sealing ring here, and the 47 REs, they do not have that sealing ring. The 47s REs does not have the embossments for the kickdown motor, and there's differences in the Planetary gears, which I'm going to show you once we get this unit torn apart. Okay, put this transmission on its side. Now we're going to remove the transmission pan. Wow, look at that. That's just a lot of debris. It's all friction material. I'm going to set this to the side. Okay, now we remove our filter. Torx 25, T25, get that out of the way. Get that pan gasket out of the way. Now what I always do whenever I disassemble a unit, I take the Overdrive accumulator cover off. It is very common to find the Overdrive accumulator spring broke. So while you're at it here, might as well take the cover off and see what it looks like. Okay, in this case, it's in one piece. It's not broke. Whenever you have that spring broke on the Overdrive accumulator, you're going to have a false code for Overdrive or TCC solenoid circuit problem. And the reason for that is because when that spring is broke, it will slip going into fourth gear, and sometimes it will just go in and out of fourth, and the computer will look at it like if the torque converter is actually going in and out, but what's going on is that it's losing pressure on the Overdrive circuit, and it's going in and out of Overdrive. So I'm going to take all the valve body bolts. I'm using a 7/16 socket. Okay, so here we got the governor pressure solenoid, governor pressure sensor or transducer, and these two right here, it's one assembly. It's the Overdrive and torque converter clutch solenoids. They're on-off solenoids. This is pulse width modulated, and this is the sensor itself. Now the torque converter clutch and the lockup, this assembly here is part of the wiring harness. So whenever this solenoids, they get damaged, they're shorted to ground, shorted to voltage, or they just don't work, you need, when you replace this, they come with the complete wiring harness assembly. Okay, so now we're going to remove the valve body from the transmission. Okay. So here it is. This is the valve body. We're going to set this to the side. We're not going to disassemble that for now. I have an accumulator piston here. As you can see, this unit does not have the heavy spring that goes in the front like on your regular 48 REs or 47 REs and 46 REs. Now one thing that I can see here, the band is almost touching. The two ends are almost touching together. What this means is that this band is either stretched or it's just completely worn out. That's why whoever tried to adjust the band, it went all the way in and it was almost flush with the nut, with the anchor. But this is the reason why. Let's go ahead and take the struts off, both struts off the band. Now I'm going to use a screwdriver. I'm just going to pry here. As you can see here, it pops everything forward. Let's go ahead and remove the pump gasket. Let's go ahead and disassemble the pump assembly. Okay. 6 1/2-inch. You use a 1/2-inch socket to remove those 6 bolts. This is the pump washer. And these are the 2 reverse and direct sealing rings. and here, and the first ring is for the forward clutch, and then the second ring on the input shaft, it's for the torque converter clutch. Okay, so see how close this is, almost close? Let's see what happened here. Okay, well here's the culprit right here. See that? It has absolutely no friction material. Maybe just on the ends a little bit. There's gone, everything's gone. There's no friction material here. Now this drum is going to need replacing. I mean, if you pass your fingernail through it, it's grooved, metal to metal. I mean, that's what damaged this drum, the band itself. Now these are the third and reverse input, or direct and reverse input frictions. It's burned up. Third gear is burned up. See this friction plate here? On one side, it doesn't even have any grooves and it's black. On the other, you can barely see a little bit grooves left over. Same with this one, on both sides. This one you can see some grooves and it's not completely burned. And on the other side, grooves are almost gone. Oil grooves on both sides of this friction. And this is the best friction you see so far on this direct drum. Another thing I would need to mention here is that these steel plates are no good. They are warped. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it here in the camera, but you're going to be able to see some light shining through. And what that means is that the steel plates are warped all the way around and they cannot be reused. So he's going to need a new set of steels. Direct frictions are burned up. This is the forward clutch drum assembly. This is the bottom sealing ring with this first sealing ring. This is the forward clutch apply circuit. And then you have another top sealing ring. These two sealing rings, they seal together, and this is the torque converter clutch circuit. It goes through the pump into this hole, and then it goes and applies the torque converter clutch. And it goes to the stator into here, into this valley here, and it applies the forward frictions. Let's check the forward frictions, see what they look like. Removing the snap ring. It looks somewhat alright. The grooves are worn. That's what to be expected on this unit. It's a SRT10, it's a play toy, and I don't think they drive it like grandma and grandpa. I believe the owners of these vehicles, they drive it for what it was intended to, which means heavy acceleration. Vehicles like these are meant to enjoy, and this is the consequences for that, but it is made for that, so we have to live with it. Okay. I need to explain something here right quick before we go any further. 48 REs, it has more teeth on the frictions than 47s and 46s. 47s and 46s, the forward and direct, they have the same amount of tooth count, but the thickness is different. On the direct frictions, they're thicker, and the forward frictions are thinner with the same tooth count on the 46 and 47 REs. On the 48 REs, on the other hand, the tooth count increased. So that's the difference between the 47 and the 46. The changes were made to this friction. The changes were made to this ring gear. We're going to go ahead and disassemble This planetary gear assembly, you have the front planet gear assembly, and then you have the rear planet rear gear assembly all together. Okay, we're going to remove this snap ring here. There we go. This is the intermediate shaft assembly. What used to be considered on the TorqueFly 6 and TorqueFly 8 is the output shaft, but in this case is the intermediate shaft, because you have the output shaft right here, and then you have the input shaft on the forward clutch drum. This is the rear planetary gear ring gear. You have a thrust washer here, 48 REs, 6 pinion planetary gear assemblies. It's made out of steels, 47 is aluminum, and it's a 4 pinion planetary gear. The washers, they're wider on the 48s. On the 47s and 46s are a little bit narrower. The sun gear shell, the thickness of the shell, it's increased. This is a kind of heavy duty sun gear shell. It weighs a little bit more than the regular one. This washer here remained the same. From planetary ring gear, they increased the tooth count on the friction and the ring gear itself. Steel 6 pinion from planetary gear assembly. They added this washer for support for the ring gear. Then we have our low reverse band drum. Go ahead and take the snap ring off. Snap ring. Turn it clockwise and pull. Here we have a 2-tab washer. This reverse drum assembly also changed. It's a little bit more heavy dutier than the 47s. For low reverse band, it's wider. It's a double wrap where it has 3 wraps, which is called a double wrap band, and it's definitely wider than the 46 and the 47s. 46 is a single wrap. Now I'm going to tap the Overdrive piston housing assembly and remove it. Remember, we removed the 6 bolts here. Now you always want to check the inside of the where the intermediate shaft rides. Make sure that it's not grooved, which in this case is in perfectly good condition. Get this gasket out of the way, and this is what it looks like. On the earlier 46 RH, which are hydraulic, rear hydraulic, that's what RH means. RE means rear electronic. Whenever they put a governor pressure sensor and solenoid, they covered these 2 holes. The earlier models, they had 2 pipes going into the rear, and you had a regular governor assembly on the output shaft of the transmission itself. Okay, and this is our low reverse roller clutch or one-way clutch. It's a spring and roller assembly. Spring roller assembly. It freewheels clockwise and it locks on the opposite direction. So there we have it, 48 RE. It's everything out of the barrel of the case has been disassembled. Now we're going to go over to the shop press, and we're going to disassemble the overdrive section, take the overdrive direct frictions out of here, and okay, here we have this overdrive section on the shop press. We're going to go ahead and start compressing the spring. It has a 600-pound spring. Take our snap ring off. This snap ring as well likes to break. It's a wavy snap ring. See that it's not straight, it's a waved snap ring. Sometimes it likes to break. So on pattern failures, like I said before, it's better if we just go ahead and replace it. It's very inexpensive. Take the Overdrive direct frictions. They are a little bit burned up. As you can see here, there's a black one, completely black one. They are burned up. Here we got the sun gear assembly. Have a bearing. 6-pinion Planetary gear. We'll set this to the side. And then we have a roller clutch assembly. Okay, so there we have it. 48RE out of a SRT10 pickup truck. This is normal for this type of units. They get abused. That's what they were built for, to have fun. These are the consequences, but it's all worth it. As long as you have fun, keep on having fun, everything's good. So our conclusion here, forward clutch assembly is no good. Our direct drum needs to be replaced. The band had no friction, that it actually ate some grooves on the surface where the second gear band applies. Direct clutches are burned as well. We need steel for the direct frictions. Overdrive direct frictions are also burned up. So this is just a total burn up, and the only hard part that we have here so far is just the drum. So this is the only hard part that needs to be replaced beside the band. But other than that, I mean, this is fairly normal wear that you expect to have on this type of units. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, just click the like button, subscribe, and do whatever you want to do with this video. Share it, embed it on your website, do whatever you need to, and let's have fun building these transmissions and keeping them on the road. Thanks for watching. This is Hiram signing out.